show you that in today's class, what we are going to make. Okay. Okay. Can you both see my screen? Spokme, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So in today's class, we are going to do half work of this project, and in the and other half of the work we will be doing in the next class. Okay, because this is a little bit hard and it is a long work to do, so it can't be covered in one class. That's why in today's class we are going to do the first part of it, and in the next class we are going to do the second part of this. Okay, so when I will click on this green flag, this backdrop will appear. Okay, that welcome to Oxfam world. And here there is a button which says let's go. If I click on this button, let's go, then see what is happening. Can you see this? What's happening? Spoke me?
Yes.
Okay, when I will click on the green flag, the backdrop will be switched to this one, and it says that welcome to Oxfam World, and there is a button that let's go. And if I will click on this button, the backdrop will change, and this dot will appear here, and it will spin and spin just like that. It is traveling somewhere. Okay, so in today's class, we are going to do the half part of it, and in the next class, we are going to do the other half part of it. Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen again, so we will start doing our work. Okay, can you both see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, what do we need? Spokesman, tell me that do we need this cat sprite here, or we should delete it?
No.
Okay, we don't need this sprite. So what we will do, we will just click on this brush can and we will delete this sprite. Okay. After deleting this sprite, now what we want a backdrop. Okay. We want a backdrop. So we will go in the choose a backdrop option. Okay. And then we will scroll a little bit down and we will see this one. Okay, so I will choose this one. Okay, now Spokesman, I want that in this backdrop here it should be written that welcome to Oxfam World. So how will I do that? I will click on this stage. Okay, after clicking on this stage, what we have to do? Can you see that there is a backdrops option right beside the code? We will click on this option and you will see that here we have a backdrop. Okay, if we don't need this backdrop one, so we can just simply delete this one. Okay, now I want to write welcome to Oxfam World here. So how I can write it? We will use the text tool. Okay, we will use the text tool from here. Okay, we can choose the color of our text which we want. Okay, if I want black, I can turn it to black. Okay, and then from here we can change the font of our text. Okay, if you want to change the font of your text, you can just set it from here. I will choose this because I like this one. Okay, we will choose first of all what we have done. We have to select on the text tool. After that, we have chosen the color of the text, and then we have chosen the font of the text. Okay, and then I will click on right here and I will write here that welcome to Oxfam World. Okay, welcome to Oxfam World. Now, if I want to increase the size of this text, I will click on the selection tool Okay, and then I will click on this text, and from here I can increase the size of the text. Okay. Okay, do you both have any confusion till here? Spokman, do you have any confusion? Spokman, Spokman, do you have any confusion? You are muted.
No, sir.
All right. Now what we have to do, we have completed editing our backdrop. We have written here that welcome to Oxfam World. Okay. Now we will go on the code. Now, what else do we need here? We need a button sprite here. Okay, so we will go in the sprite section. Okay, and then we can choose this button from here. Okay, there is a sprite of button. We will choose this button and I will put it in the center of the backdrop right here. Okay, now what else I want? I want to write let's go in this button. So how can we do that? We will go in the costumes. We will click on this sprite and then we will click on its costumes. Okay. And then we will again use the text tool and we will write, we can select the color. Okay. And we can write here, let's go. Okay. And then if we want to center this text, we will use the selection tool and we will pick this text and we will put it in the center of this. Okay. Now we will come back to the code. So you both have any type of question and confusion till here?
No, sir.
Okay. That's really good. Now what I want is that when I click on this green flag, so what should happen? The backdrop should be changed to this backdrop. Okay, so how we will do that? We will click, we have to go in the backdrops. Okay, I will click on the backdrop from here and I will go in the events and I will pick the green flag from here, that when green flag click, okay, and then we will go in the looks and we will use this, that switch backdrop to light. Okay, so now what will happen that whenever I will click on this green
Sir,
flag, yes, spoke me,
sir,
yes,
we have to click on backdrop, then we have to do all coding.
yes, you have to click on the backdrop and then you have to do just this coding, not all the coding, just this coding, that when green flag clicks, switch backdrop to light. Okay, so that whenever we will click on this green flag, our backdrop should be changed to this one. Okay, okay, Spokman. Now I will go in the sprite. Now we have to click on the sprite because we have to do the coding inside this sprite. Now what we want, what was happening in the project I've shown you in the start of the class, what was happening, that whenever I was clicking on this let's go button, the backdrop was changing. Okay, so how we can do that? We will go, first of all, we will go in the backdrops. Okay, and then we will choose the backdrop raise. Okay, we will click on this backdrop. So this backdrop should be added. Now, what we have coded in the backdrop, we will see that when green flag clicks, switch backdrop to light. Now, if I will click on the green flag, the backdrop will be changed to the first one. Okay. Do you have any confusion till here, Spokne?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what we want is that when I click on this let's go sprite, what should happen? That our backdrop should change to the second one. Okay, so how we can do that? We will click on this sprite and then we will go in the event section. Okay, and then what we will, which event we will use? We will use this event, the third event, that when this sprite click. Okay, when this sprite click, you remember that we used this event in the unicorn class in which the
Yes.
unicorn color was changing.
Yes.
Okay, so what does this event do is that this event makes our sprite clickable. Okay, so what we are doing here, that I want that when I click on this button, let's go button, our backdrop should change to the second backdrop, which is raised. Okay, so that's why we are going to code in this button. Okay, so we will code in this button that when this sprite click. Okay, now what I want, when this sprite click, we will go in the loops and we will use this block that switch backdrop to raise. Okay, if you will click on this arrow, you can see that there are the name of our backdrops. I want that our backdrop should be changed to raise. That's why I am choosing this one. Okay. Now, what our code is that when this sprite clicks, switch backdrop to trace. Okay. Now, if I will click on this sprite, let's go. It our backdrop is changing to the rays, and when I will click on the green flag, our backdrop is changing to the first one. Okay. Do you have any confusion till here? Spoke mein,
No,
Hasnan.
sir.
Hasnan, do you have any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. Now there is a problem, Spokesman. What is the problem? Can you tell me, Spokesman? There is a problem here. You know, I have showed you the project in the start of the class. Okay. Now, can you tell me that what is the problem here? That when I'm clicking on this let's go, our backdrop is changing, but there is a problem. Can you tell me?
Sir,
Yes.
the let's go is here.
Yes. Problem is that let's go button is here, but in the project we have seen earlier what was happening, that we when we were clicking on this let's go button, the backdrop was changing, but this button was not showing it here. Okay, so we have this problem. So now how we can solve this problem is that we have to use the hide and show block. Okay, so how we will use this hide and show block? Where I want to show this, first of all, we have to see that in which backdrop we have to show this sprite let's go. So the backdrop is the first one, that when I click on the green flag, our button should show. So what I will do, we will do the coding in this button, that when green flag click, okay, that when green flag click, we will go in the loops and we will use this show block here, that when green flag click, this sprite should be shown. Okay. Now what I want, that when I click on this sprite and when this backdrop is switched to raise, this sprite should not be here, which means this sprite should be hidden. Okay, so how we will do that? We will use the events, okay, that when backdrop switches to, okay, we have used this event in the unicorn in the magic land class. Okay, we are using this one again. We will use that when backdrop switches to raise, that whenever I'm clicking on this sprite, the backdrop is changing to raise. So I want that when backdrop switches to raise, this sprite should hide. So we will go in the looks and we will use the hide button here. Okay. Now we will check that if our thing code is working or not. Okay. When we will click on this let's go button, the backdrop is changing and the button is gone. Okay, the button is hidden. And when I will again click on the green flag, our backdrop is changing to the first one and our button is also here. Okay, I am clicking on this button, the backdrop is changing and this button is also hiding. And when I'm again clicking on the green flag, the backdrop is changing to the first one and the button is also here. Okay. Do you have any confusion till here, Spoke May?
No, sir.
All right. Now, this was the first part of our project. Okay, the second part of the project we will be doing in the next class. Okay, so now I'm stop sharing my screen. What you both have to do that you both have to start sharing your screens and you have to do the same work till here. Okay, with same backdrop, with same button. Okay, you have to do the same work as I have done.